Yes, guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Bournemouth match review. And as you can tell, yet again this season, by the smile on my face, Sunderland have done something incredible, something amazing. A heroic comeback from 2 goals down to win 3-2 against a brilliant Bournemouth side, by the way. I'm going to get onto that, but they are a brilliant Bournemouth side, and we can't underestimate that achievement that we did achieve yesterday, because it was just absolutely incredible. And I'm lost for words. Me, of all people, lost for words. I'm losing words to describe this side. I think I've already said that sentence 3 or 4 times this season, but the character within this side is just absolutely incredible. And in my sort of 25 years, 20 plus years of supporting this club, I can't remember a time where we go 2 goals down and I still believe that we're going to come away with something and even the win. And that's exactly what happened. And it really is just an incredible feeling, particularly at the stage of my life, of course, which is an absolute fortress. We're still unbeaten, an incredible 3 points. And as I'm recording this, we're in the top 4, which it's strangely becoming the norm, isn't it? Which is mental. I don't see it lasting, but every time I say that, we seem to find our way back into the top 4. So I'll keep on saying it. And that was the first time ever in Sunderland's history, by the way, that we've come back from 2 goals down to win a game in the Premier League. So I'm smiling. Now, as you guys know, I don't write scripts, I don't write notes for videos. A lot of things happen in this game. So I don't know where to start. I just shout words at you and hope it makes sense, and equally hope that you enjoy. So let's see how this one goes. But before we do get into it, if you do me a massive favour, hit the like button for me. Can you get 250 likes in the video for the lads? They deserve it. Big Brian Brobby deserves it. And subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 20,000 subs by the end of the season. It's a very tall order, but Big Brian Brobby is equally as tall, and he deserves a subscription on the jamsarny YouTube channel. Make it make sense. But yes, we did get the win yesterday, in all seriousness, and for the neutral, that must have been a hell of a watch. And to be fair, even for Sunderland fans, it was a hell of a watch. Of course, it's easier to say that now that we do come away with the 3 points, but it was a really, really good contest in terms of Bournemouth. I'll say straight off the bat, I think that they were probably attacking-wise the most dangerous team we've seen so far at the stage of my life. And we've seen the likes of Arsenal in terms of, even when it is sort of all backs against the wall and we do have to sit deep a little bit, and kind of absorb a bit of pressure, they are so good at creating that space in and around the box to create chances. Semenyo, of course, on one side, and other players that were really getting at us, and they were very, very impressive, very threatening, and I expected that with this Bournemouth side, because they are, like I say, a very, very good side. But we did go for the lineup that I almost like for like, spot on, play for player. We went for the team and the squad, the lineup, the starting 11, that I said that I would prefer to see in the preview to this game. And we went with Roofs in goal. We went to the back 4 at the stage of light, which I think in turn obviously does give up a little bit of space in our third, but equally it gives us an extra body in midfield, and I think it allowed us to control the play a hell of a lot more than it does when we do go with the 5 at the back, which is quite an obvious statement, really, but that did prove to be the case in this game. Across the back 4, we did have Ronaldo, Alderete, who I screamed to be redeemed to the lineup. He was alongside Dan Ballard, of course. McKaylee at right back. Hume dropped to the bench, which I think was a very, very big call. However, that's exactly what I wanted to see. As much as I love Trey Hume, it's what I wanted to see. In the middle, we had the trio of Lafay, Xhaka and Siddiqui. Again, the trio that I wanted to see. On one side, on the left-hand side, we finally saw James Dean Talby given a chance from the off on the left-hand side. So I was buzzing with that. Traore on the right and Isidore up top. So getting into the game, I am going to say, I keep on using the term straight off the bat, and we're already, 3-4 minutes into it, so it's not quite straight off the bat. But you know what I mean. But I am going to say, because I know a lot of Bournemouth fans are sour about the referee, which I understand, by the way. The referee was abysmal for both teams. And I was prepared to say that at half-time. I was prepared to say that at full-time. And a lot of people say when I bitch and moan about referees, it's always when we lose. It's always when it's a negative towards Sunderland. If we come away with a defeat, it's very easy to be salty and put the blame on the referee. He was shite for both teams. And he let Alex Scott get away with murder. He let a lot of the Bournemouth players get away with murder, apart from the last couple of minutes of the game where Cook did get himself sent off, and rightly so, by the way. But you had Scott, who should have been sent off. You know, he should have been collecting yellow cards like Pokemon cards, but he got hooked at half time and the referee let him get away with that. So I know there were also decisions that Bournemouth fans that would have been frustrated with, but my God, there were just as many with Sunderland fans. You know, Sunderland fans were booing that referee off at half time, and the Bournemouth manager, I have never seen someone lose their head from the off. That man, he lost it from the off, and this is relevant, by the way, to the referee and what have you, but straight away, every time camera pans to the dugout, he is screaming and shouting. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is bitching and moaning. He's in the ear of the fourth official for the entirety of the game. Even when nothing is necessarily going on, he's lost his head. He lost his rag just constantly. Every time he goes to sit down, straight back up, screaming and shouting. He'd lost the plot. And then I think for a team, you know, like Bournemouth, particularly with what was going on the pitch, more so in the second half, but you're trying to translate them to be calm. I'm sure Bournemouth fans would want the same thing, to be calm in that kind of situation, keep hold of the ball, stay level-headed, and he didn't. He was constantly losing the plot, lost his shit, and that just translated and filtered onto those Bournemouth players because they lost the plot. I found it so ironic that after the game, the Bournemouth manager said that the referee lost control of the game. He lost control. He lost his head from the off, and it filtered to the players who equally lost their heads. But again, particularly towards the back end of the game. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there as well because I've never seen such a bitchy, moany baby in my life. And we've had Arteta at this stage in my life. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, we're 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. We haven't even spoken about the football yet. But getting into it, I think we started off incredibly well. Now, the opening 20 minutes, we conceded 2 goals. Now, a lot of people, or a handful of people online were saying, oh, this is shit, we're terrible, we're playing awful. And I disagreed with every single one of them. Because the opening 20 minutes, I think we probably just about shaded it. I think throughout the entirety of the game, it was very 50-50, flip of a coin as to who were the better side. I think there was only really about a 20-minute phase towards the back end of that second half where Bournemouth really dominated in terms of pinning us back. We couldn't get it out of our own box pretty much. Other than that, it was very 50-50, very end-to-end, and either team could have shaded it, which I love to see. The intensity was back, which we didn't see at Fulham. Easier at the stage of my life, of course, I guess, but still, we expected to be their home or away. The intensity was there, we were creating chances. Talby on the left-hand side straight away, lovely interchanging play, cuts in from left to right as a shot blocked. Other chances, Traore cutting into right to left, shot blocked or saved. And we were making and carving out little chances. And we went a goal down. Ball's pumped up down that left-hand side. It's such a shame because, like I said, for this to be our downfall, a slip from Mukiele, which lets Semenyo through. He drills it across goal. They should have put it in. I think it was Evan Nilsson, but he's hit the post, comes back, and it's poked into the net with a good finish, to be fair. 1-0, but it's just so frustrating because up until that point, it was a really even contest. If anything, we were shading that one. But we still kept going. The character, as I say, we still kept going. We still kept creating half chances here and there, but just couldn't really find the back of the net or really find the clear-cut opportunities that we're after. And then it's another just little moment of madness, and it come from our corner. Xhaka to Talby. Talby short, sort of sells Xhaka short. They try to break forward. Talby manages to nick it back, and his pass is poor to Traore, who just lets it run past him. And then Adams, you need to put your hands up from, just inside our half, pings it over the keeper from the halfway line, basically, to make it 2-0. So it was a slip and a moment of madness, and we're 2 goals down, and we still kept on going. That would have been easy for us there to just go, right, okay, shit day at the office, we'll go on to the next one. And we didn't. This Sunderland squad just do not have that mentality, and they never will at this rate. We kept on going, kept on plugging away, we kept on creating chances. I think Easter proved to be a little bit of a frustrated, isolated figure, and I was only having this conversation yesterday because I think and to be fair, not even just in the Premier League, this is happening in the Championship at times, our wingers at the moment, they love to cut inside, left to right or right to left, depending which one you're looking at, and go for goal. Very little balls are going into the box, not many at all, only a very small handful. So he's feeding off scraps. Is Isidore, and it's not necessarily a bad thing cutting in from left to right or right to left and going for goal because we're creating chances and it was working. However, that still ultimately just strangles all surface from Isidore. Now, when he eventually did get the one chance, I think this was when we're still 1-0 down, he did manage to get in behind a little bit on the right hand side, just inside the box, and Lafay was there, basically penalty spot, totally free. He had someone else at the back post, totally free. But I think because, and I totally understood it, striker's instinct, he's frustrated, he's not being given the ball, he's not getting the ball at all. He's just lashed at it, and it's gone straight to the keeper who powers it out for a corner. But he was such a frustrated figure and an isolated figure, and I did feel a bit for him. I really did, but we kept on plugging away, kept on going for it, and eventually we do get ourselves a penalty. Ronaldo is clashed within the box, and Lafay steps up and just thunders it into the roof of the net to make it 2-1. And it just gave us that lifeline that we needed. And then it just followed loads of refereeing shat decisions. Semenyo was running us ragged down one side. We defended well for the most part, to be fair. And you expect Bournemouth to create chances. And I think sometimes, hindsight, when there's a chance to be made or a goal that you concede in hindsight, you can always say that this defender could have tucked in, this defender should have pressed, he should have been there, he should have followed his man. But sometimes you just need to acknowledge quality, and Bournemouth are a top quality side, as I keep saying, and I'm not just blowing smoke up their arse, but they are, and if anything that just proves what a feat it was yesterday at the Stage of Malai, and they were creating some half decent chances. And I always use a term, that we limit teams to long range efforts, and that's generally just kind of like a pop shot from distance. When we were closing them down and they're going for it half time, we block it half time, it goes way high or wide, but they just had that ability to create that sort of yard or two of space around the edge of the box, where they hit the bar later on in the game, and that they were just very, very good at being able to carve out just chunks of space. But we did see it off half time, 2-1, came out, and we just came out like a frigging steam train, didn't we? It was brilliant. We got a free kick on the right hand side. Granit Xhaka, he steps over the ball, lets Lafay put it in towards the near post. It's headed away to Traore. Now, I've analysed his free kick to all hell, by the way, and without me putting it on the screen, it probably won't make too much sense. But you can see, because we do have a set-piece specialist now, I honestly believe, to a degree, Lafay has put it in to that near post area with the whole sole purpose of it being cleared away back out to that direction. Let me just explain to it, right? Because everyone else is at the back post, which keeps the large portion of the Bournemouth players away, and one man just stands towards the near post, and he just put it towards him. Now, the only place that ball can go, if it is headed away, and it was headed away, is back out to Traore or Lafay or Xhaka, who've angled them in such a way that it is 3 Sunderland players against 2 Bournemouth men. So, of course, if the first man where the ball's put in don't get the flick on, it's going to get cleared away to one of them 3. Then it's 3-on-2 in Sunderland's favour to do something with. And the way they work it is absolutely fantastic. And we've seen these chances created before. I think it might have even been Burnley. There was one that we did a very similar thing with, and it just happened to pay off. So it's cleared away, as I expected, to Traore. He gives it to Lafay. He gives it to Xhaka. Xhaka back to Lafay. He dummies it as if he's gonna put the ball back in the box, but he gives it straight back to Xhaka. And because he's moved these 2 defenders by doing that, so Xhaka has space. And when it looks like Xhaka's going to shoot, both of the Bournemouth defenders are shifting over and putting everything in it to get over to him. But he's disguised the pass perfectly back to Traore. So it leaves Traore in acres of space, and still the Bournemouth team are still on the other side because all of our players are still there from the free kick. So like I said, I might sound like I'm a rambling madman, but I just think there is thought behind it. But Traore does his thing, cuts in from left to right, drills it into the near post, through the defender's legs, and beats Petrovic in goal. 2-2, absolute perfect start. Now, I feel like we did slow down a little bit. We had about a minute after that where, of course, the momentum was going with us, but it almost it ran out quite quickly. And Bournemouth really did start to press us, making chances then. Chances around the box. Roos called into action a couple of times. But then we did bring the changes. We saw Talby brought on... Sorry, Talby. We saw Talby come off, should I say. Mundell was brought on. Brobby come on. Hume come on. A bit of a system change, but Brobby come on. And straight away, Brobby got a chance. In behind, he's muscling. He's just such a strong lad, isn't he? That's what we love. And I keep on saying, to be able to just have the outlet to just pump the ball upfield and the ball stick to him. And it does. And he just bullies defenders. He pushes them away like they're nothing. It's not like Bournemouth are soft either. He's pushing them away like they're nothing. And the keeper makes a good save at the near post. Mundell as well. It was great to see him back on the pitch. His Premier League debut for Sunderland. I think the first couple of touches I let get away from him. And I get it, he's not the sharpest at the minute, but then he really got into it. And the difference with Mundell to a Talby is Talby, his thing is cutting in from left to right when he's on the left hand side. With Mundell, he can do both, cutting from left to right, because we know how much he loves to cut in and go for goal. But what Mundell also does equally well, if he doesn't see that that's on, he will take it to the byline. And we don't see that enough with maybe a Talby or a Traore, even though Traore was fantastic doing that cutting from right to left. Because it's weird with Traore because it looks like he's going at a snail's pace, but the defender still can't do it. You know what he's going to do, but he still somehow gets away with it. 50-50 anyway. Sometimes it was frustrating. There was at one point where I saw Isidore stood in the box, 6 yards out. We managed to break him behind, just waiting for him to slip Isidore in and tries to meg the defender again. So, yeah, with Traore, it's either you never get anything in between. It's either world class or shite. But he was world class more than not yesterday, which is good. But, yeah, back to the point with Mundell, he does get it to byline and drill it across goal. So I think that would work better when Mundell's on and Isidore's on, because Isidore does make those runs, but we don't give it him. But Mundell did do that a couple of times, taking on his man to the byline and smashing it across goal, see what happens, and nothing quite came of it. But we did get a corner, and Big Brian Brobby does what Big Brian Brobby does best and gets a goal off the bench. And I think he needs to start, really, for me, but it's a brilliant header. It's a glancing header. He has to come away, and it's harder than it looks, as simple as it looks on the replays. The way the ball's come in is I have to step away from it and then just glance it in. Keeper can't know anything about it to make it 3-2, to send the Stadium of Light into absolute mayhem. It's just absolutely incredible. Really is incredible. And then, like I said, there was about 20 minutes that followed where we just could not get it out of our own box. It was just cross after cross, shot after shot, and it really was nail-biting stuff. I have no nails left on my fingers, do you know what I mean? But yeah, what was really frustrating though, within that 20 minutes, and Jackie could see he was getting so frustrated, because we had ample opportunities to just get the ball away at time, just pump it away, give us a bit of a breather, but we kept on trying to play it out in daft positions, or we just smash it straight at Bournemouth players directly in front of them to give them that opportunity to go back at us. And we had about 15-20 minutes of just them crossing after cross after cross, shot after shot, as I say. I think that's when they hit the bar as well. I also forgot that they had a goal disallowed in that second half, and it was drilled across goal, and it was going to go in anyway. But fortunately for us, I think it was Evan Nilsson, he tapped it in when it was basically on the line and he was offside. So thankfully that went in our favour as well. But yeah, we eventually managed to see it out, but it wasn't without its drama beforehand. Noah Siddiqui took a clattering off Cook. How on earth Cook acts shocked and surprised? How on earth the Bournemouth manager, I watched him go to the screens, have a look, and he still bitched and moaned about it. It was the most blatant, flush, cleanest sort of elbow/forearm, straight to the chops of Noah Siddiqui. It's a red card every day of the week. And like I said, there were other times that he's let so many things go. You know, the Bournemouth coach is he's already got a booking, and yeah, he lost control for both sides at times, the referee. However, he should have been booked way before he was booked, the Bournemouth coach. He's eventually given him a booking. And what was mad after that is, seconds after he's given the booking, I think the ref has immediately become shit scared of him, because I think that fourth officials all game long were telling the referee that he's off his head. Like, he's lost his head, he's in the air constantly, and the ref was letting him get away with it. He was all over the shot on that touchline. And then, of course, he's eventually given into it, bit the bullet, given him a booking. But then seconds later, Ronaldo, he is hacked, absolutely hacked, and it runs out for a throw-in. Don't give the foul, just gives a throw-in. And I think that was purely because he just come off the back of booking the Bournemouth manager, and he didn't want to further irritate him when it was the most blatant foul I've ever seen, and we just got the throw. But he's absolutely sliced him down. But either way, it's just little things like that. But yeah, like I say, amazing 3 points. As I'm recording this, we're sat in the We're sat in the top four. I've just finished work, guys. I'm knackered. I'm running on like 2 hours sleep. How I've managed to put this together, I do not know. I'm delirious right now, but I'm all happy about it. I'm happy about it, as you can see. 3 points, incredible character from the lads. Regis Labrie, you're an absolute magician, mate. Absolute magician. I think he played that one to a T perfectly well. And like I said, in the total opposite to the opposition, Regis just win, lose or draw. You'll never seem too downbeat with a defeat. You'll never seem too frustrated with a draw. You'll never see him too overly happy with a win. He always has that level head that just filters through to these players. You know, he won't let a game get the best of his emotions, because he knows it'll filter through to the players. And I think that's what we really need to give him credit for, because, if it were me or you on the touchline, I probably would have been sent off within 15 minutes after that game. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, an incredible 3 points. And it gets a little bit more difficult next time out, don't we? It's only a couple more games until the derby, but we'll get onto that when we get closer towards that one. Next time up, we do have Liverpool and then City before the derby, of course. But yeah, I'm trying to put that out of my mind in a minute. The nerves are already setting in for the derby. However, yeah, City, it's going to be a hell of a task to ask for anything for that game. If we do manage to get something from it, it'd be incredible. And of course, then after both City and Liverpool, it'd be incredible to get anything from those games. But I just think what we've seen now, when we have been beat this season, which hasn't been many times, of course, when we have been beat, we come back from it. These lads, they don't allow it to get to them too much in the couch to turn things around. I could sit here for another 20 minutes just gushing over these boys, but it is what it is. I'll leave it there, guys. I've gone on far too long. If you're buzzing, if you're happy, like I am, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. But for now, take care, stay jammy, away the lads, keep the faith.